are here in your house sports. NFL recap. What is this? Week 16, 17? What is this? 17? Week
Week
16.
17.
Or week
17.
6 this week it's week 17?
Yep.
Well, going into is going to be week 17. This was week 16.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we're
week
recapping
16
week
going in.
16 going into 17. It's your boy Vassos.
It's Fat Sam.
Manny is right now interviewing for the vacancy there in Denver.
Yep. Yeah, he got an interview. From what I was told, as soon as Nathaniel Hackett got fired, Manny called them and said, "I want to interview." They said, "Yes, sir."
Exactly. They said,
So,
okay, first class. John
yeah.
Elway's going to come pick you up, and we promise you he's not drunk.
Yeah, yeah, that's what happened. So he's interviewing for the job. Um, we'll see he gets it. Maybe they can meet his payment demands or the pay.
Exactly. I mean, they hired Nathaniel Hackett. How the hell could they not hire Manny?
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
um,
mean, I mean, yeah. No, really, no argument, right?
you can only go up from there.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh,
Yeah,
but yeah,
crazy week for the Broncos. I
just crazy week
mean,
in general.
yeah, yeah, some good
Crazy,
football games.
some good football games and some very bad football games. Some
Yes.
very bad ones. So be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, notification bell, all that good stuff. Facebook, In Your House Sports. Instagram, In Your House Sports. Like and share those links there. Subscribe, whatever it is, follow, subscribe, whatever the hell the kids say these days. Um, but this Christmas week of Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas to all of you. Hope you had a good one. But go ahead.
Oh, nothing,
Oh,
nothing.
okay. I thought you were about to say something.
Oh,
I thought there was a joke coming. I was like, oh, I cut him off.
no.
But this week started out on Thursday Night Football with the Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to the New York Football Jets as the Jacksonville Jaguars won 19-3. Zach Wilson was the starting quarterback and got benched at the end of the third quarter.
By Chris, what's his name? Chris
Stevler or something like that.
Stevler. Never
The
even
only
heard of the guy.
the only reason I heard of the guy was because I watched some of their preseason games, and he was like the only time they would move the footballs at the end of the game when he'd get put in. He'd get put in the fourth quarter, and they would score every time. Every time he was in there, they'd score.
Huh. No, yeah. So yeah, you got Zach Wilson. I don't know, man. Uh, he was the guy for a while.
Yeah.
For 2 years, he was the guy, but
No,
he
this
was
is
hurt. He got hurt.
I think this is only his second year.
Yeah, his second year, and the great Mike White.
He's ready to come
Um,
back.
yeah, he is. And then Zach Wilson didn't do anything, man. And then I don't know. I don't I don't know what to make of Zach Wilson. Like, cause I was like, I don't. Does he have moms on his mind or something?
He's got to be something. You
I
know,
mean, is he
maybe it's
thinking
just
about the
something.
milfs?
Maybe it's just something with the last name Wilson this season.
May
That's got to be what
possibly,
it is.
possibly.
Somebody cursed all Wilsons instead of just one in particular.
For real, right?
But yeah,
Uh,
he played terrible. So much so that he got benched. Was it the end of the third quarter
yeah.
that they put the other guy in?
Got benched and got booed. And
I mean, we knew the booing was going to happen.
yeah. And then his mama came to his defense.
His mom was ready to
You
go
know,
out there on the stands and start whooping people with her high heel shoe.
her stilettos, man.
Right?
But man, I mean, shout out to Jacksonville, man. I mean, they could win the division
They're in right now in first place in the division
in first place. It's them, Tennessee, Colts, and
in
Houston.
Houston. But I
Yeah,
mean, dude, that's a team that's just they fought and they've gotten better. And
Man, like it just shows how terrible Urban Meyer
it's
was as an
practically the
NFL
same
coach.
team. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
exactly,
it's pretty much the exact
exactly.
same team with maybe like one or two additions at receiver, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, because what they got the Texans next, and they got the Titans, so of course they got to win out to win the division,
Well, really, I
or do
think all
they
they
just
have they
to
just have
beat
to beat
Texans?
the Tennessee. Well, I mean, if they win
Yeah,
next week, then yeah, they win the division. I think
yeah,
because they
because
have
the
the
Texans
tiebreaker.
beat the yeah,
Yeah,
and then Tennessee beat the Titans. But yeah, man, I mean, it's crazy.
yeah.
It's crazy, man. Trevor Lawrence, man, he's looking like the guy. Uh,
He's looking like that
you know,
number one overall pick.
yep, exactly, man. I mean, he threw what 20 for 31, 229 yards. I mean, he's looking like what they were hoping they were going to get, you know?
Right, exactly. He's making that pick and that money seem worth it. And
Exactly.
he's already making his claim saying, "Hey, Jacksonville, Tony, you better get ready to pay me."
It won't be long before Trevor Lawrence is like on full gear or something, or all in or all out, whatever it is
Yeah, he'll
called.
show up on Dynamite or
Yep.
knowing Tony, he'll put him on Rampage
Yeah, just to get the ratings up for that
just to
week.
get just to get maybe two more eyeballs on the product.
Exactly. Yep.
uh, and then he'll put him on Dark or something like that. So classic Tony
Yeah.
Khan booking right there. But yeah,
Exactly, man.
Jacksonville, man. Jacksonville's leading the division. New York is still alive in the AFC in the wild
Yep.
card spot, but not looking good. But saving grace is Mike White's ready to come back next week. So hopefully for
Yeah.
them, he can pull the nose up.
Hopefully. We'll see what happens, man. But Jacksonville, man, they've been playing tough.
Yeah, they've been
They're
playing
they're,
good
they're not
football.
they're not that easy team.
They're not that cupcake team, that pushover, rollover team that they were last year.
Yeah, they're not the Bears or the Texans.
We don't talk about
Hey,
that.
but yeah.
We don't talk about that.
It's
We don't do that here.
like you gone too far.
In the stream.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah. So moving on to Saturday, Christmas Eve. This I don't like this where it's all Saturday games and then like a couple like Sunday games. It's just
Yeah, like I wish they would have stuck with like a Thanksgiving schedule.
yeah,
You know,
but
with the three games on Christmas or Christmas Eve,
yeah, and then just did
and
everything on
then
Christmas.
yeah, but I mean NBA, that's usually NBA's day is Christmas though too.
Yeah, so I
Because
get why they did it.
yeah,
So
yep,
it's just that the games we got just after the first. Well, actually, I take that back. Just the one in the middle wasn't very good. But anyway,
yeah,
Christmas Eve we kicked off at noon with the Bears hosting the Bills. Buffalo ended up finally kicking it in gear and winning the game 35-13. For a while there, it looked like
yeah.
the Bears were going to do it.
I mean, what leading that half, they were what up 10-6.
Yeah, I mean,
They're
somebody just went up and
yeah,
smacked Josh Allen in the face, and
yeah.
he was like,
Which
"Oh,
I mean, if you look at the stats, and I mean, he was 15 for 26, 172 yards, 2 touchdowns. Singletary had 106 yards, 1 touchdown. I
yeah,
mean, and so it's the Bills, man, they're just a tough team, man.
yeah." They're a tough
Did
team.
did Fields get hurt?
When doesn't he get hurt? He's got to run the ball every play.
Yeah, for real, right? Because what Peterman came in for him and threw an interception. That's why
that's
I didn't get to see the whole game.
that's
So
par for the course right there. You can't say the word Nathan Peterman without interception attached to it.
I forgot he was in the league.
I didn't even know he was in the league still. How does he keep getting work?
I don't know, man. Wasn't he a first round pick?
Uh,
First, what? Let
Trying to
me.
remember if he wasn't a first round pick, he was like one of the first quarterbacks taken, I think, that year when there was just like no quarterbacks really.
Nathan Peterman. Oh no, he was round 5.
Round five, okay.
He was picked by Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo picked him, and I just remember he threw that 6 interception game, and they finally yanked him after the 6-1.
6 interceptions. Yeah, I was like, you know what?
You know what? Maybe, just maybe. No, no. I think two
Just
of them. I
maybe.
think two of them were pick sixes, and I'm like, I think after the second pick six, I'd have pulled him.
Yeah, for real.
It's like 4 interceptions or six or two pick sixes. It's like, yeah, it's about time to go get him. You're over there. In
Yeah,
baseball,
get him out. Get him out.
yeah,
But Buffalo, man, of course they're ahead in their division.
they're on top of the AFC, so
Yeah, AFC. Yeah, AFC. Yeah.
holding that number
Uh,
one spot down.
you got Miami, Patriots, and the Jets. Which Miami, man, they're a tough team too. Which we'll get to them in a little bit. But yeah, Buffalo, man. I mean, I don't know, man. That AFC division, man. Once it comes to the playoffs, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, that whoever comes out of that is just, I don't know. Just hope that there's enough left of them for the Super Bowl. Whoever comes out of the AFC.
Man, for real, right? I mean, because look at this right now. The AFC East, you got Buffalo on top, Cincinnati on top. Cincinnati's just a beast, man.
Yeah,
You got Jacksonville, who's like that juggernaut team, man. And of course, you got Kansas City in the
yeah,
West. I mean, but dude, you talking about beating up on each other, man.
yeah. That AFC is going to be interesting to see who comes out on top of that one come playoff
Yeah,
time.
yeah. But
Uh,
Buffalo, man, they're like I said, Buffalo is just a good team, man.
Maybe it just wasn't cold enough in Chicago for Buffalo to actually start playing good right away.
Yeah, it's like you know what? It doesn't feel like a negative.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
it's not snowing all the way yet, so
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, it doesn't feel right.
we don't have people throwing snowballs out on the field, so it's not really a game yet.
Yep. So
But then we move on to the New Orleans Saints traveling to Cleveland to take on the Browns. The Saints win 17-10 in a nice little whiteout that they had there. Nice little mini blizzard, I guess, if you will. Not as bad
yeah.
as it was in Buffalo last week, but
Man, did you see how they arrived to their cars the other day?
oh, in
The
Buffalo,
team?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, man, their cars are just covered in
covered in
snow, man.
snow, just
Yep.
driving away, looking at making it look like they were hauling a single wide or a double wide.
Exactly.
But yeah, the
Yeah.
Saints picked up a win and keeping ground there in the NFC South. Cleveland just trying to get right, and they can't do it.
Exactly, man. Yeah, I mean, you really didn't expect much for Cleveland this year, I guess.
Yeah, but when you think about it, it's like you got Deshaun finally coming back, and he's only played his third game, I think,
Third game, yeah.
and he really has not looked that good. He's looked good in spots, like against Baltimore, he looked good in spots,
Yeah.
but just he hasn't looked good this season.
Yeah.
Since he's come
I
back,
mean,
but that's
it's probably because of the lack of massage he's getting.
he's got too much lactic acid buildup.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, he needs to get released.
Take a load off.
Take a load off. He's feeling tight right now. But yeah, I mean, well, they're both last in their divisions, I believe.
Yes, yes, yeah. They're both last in their division, so but they're still well. In New Orleans' case, they're still in it.
Yeah,
They can still win their division, whereas Cleveland, not so much. I think they are officially eliminated.
yeah. Let me see.
Because they're officially eliminated.
Yeah,
So You know, that NFC South is going to be interesting to see how that winds up. Just because of
Yeah, I
just how
because
bad the two South divisions are.
yeah, they got it's crazy that they got a chance to still win.
Yeah. Then we had the Seattle Seahawks traveling to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. The Chiefs win 24-10. How do you feel about going shirtless in a -2 degree wind chill?
That was stupid, man. What point were they trying to prove?
I guess it's all
Like,
psychological, like, hey, the cold don't bother us, I guess, type of thing. And which to me, I'm like, the hell with that. I'm not going out there like that.
right? And it's almost like, look, like, okay, like I get it. You're trying to play mind games, but you're up against freaking Mahomes. Like, you better be focused on him and not trying to play mind games.
Right.
And I mean, I guess it may go for our Instagram story or something like that.
It made good for
But
TV.
exactly, and you still got beat by the Chiefs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
You
mean,
still went out there and laid an egg.
I mean the Chiefs, man. I mean, Chiefs are the Chiefs, bro. Like they're just so good. I
It's
mean,
not as impressive as it has been over the years, but damn, they're still
they're finding
figuring it
ways to
out.
win.
Yeah.
What are they? 12-3, six
12
and
and
one
3.
at home.
Yeah.
I mean, Mahomes went for 16 for 28, 224 yards, two tuds,
One
um,
rushing.
one rushing, yeah, one rushing touchdown.
Over there keeping
Uh,
himself up off the ground.
exactly, man. Isaiah Pachinko, man, 14 carries, 58 yards. Uh,
Sounds like a boxer's name.
right? Yeah. Uh, and then McKinnon, man, he's really been picking up some slack too, man.
Yeah, especially in the pass game. It's like
Yeah.
Mahomes needs an outlet, he just dumps it off to him. I feel bad for Edwards-Helaire. He's like the forgotten guy.
Yeah.
He was like
And, and
highly.
and it's almost like it makes sense why they're not even rushing him back.
Yeah,
They're not hurting. It's like, dude, just just get done, or just heal up,
just get
you
healthy.
know. Yeah, hopefully they get him back for playoffs or whatnot.
I
But
don't really
I
even see
mean,
them using him really, unless they say, "Hey, you might play special teams,
yeah, I
so be
mean,
ready."
yeah. And then you had Kelsey, 413 yards. Kelsey, man,
It's a bad dude.
that dude. Yeah, it is, man. I'm glad he's on my fantasy team. And
Mine
so
too, but it still didn't help me win.
no, I'm in the championship game next week, so that's all I'll say.
See, I got knocked out last week.
Yeah. Oh,
I
did you?
I got knocked out last week because of the stupid. Who was it that had a huge game? It was on. I think it was Monday night. Whoever. You know what? Now that you say that, it's going to make me go look and I got to relive this. Let's see. It was stupid. No, it was Ramondre Stevenson and freaking Joe Mixon.
Oh.
Ramondre Stevenson, especially since he had the big old long run for a touchdown before he decided to flip it back and, you know.
Oh, dang.
So, yeah, he beat me right there.
Yeah.
I got beat by Ramondre Stevenson. Uh, yeah,
No, yeah.
I'm not happy
I
about that.
mean, I beat the guy I was playing. It's like I had 145 points. He had like 64
Dang.
points. I mean, I had Burrow, Kelsey, McLaurin. Uh, who was it? I had somebody else went off. Man, I forget. I got a good receiving core.
Yeah.
And
See,
so
I had
even
a
my bench went up.
see. I use normally I'm like heavy receivers, this year I went like heavy running backs, and like my running backs were like so deep that I was like, man, I don't know what to do. I kept trying. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to give a running back up. I tried trade. Nobody want to trade running backs for a
Oh
receiver. I'm like,
man,
y'all
yeah.
suck. I said
But see, I
normally,
was like, yeah, I was like number 8 pick, and of course all the running backs were taken.
yeah,
So my first pick was Kelsey, and then everybody else was still picking running backs. And then, so I just started went heavy on receivers. Just boom,
yeah.
just started going
As
heavy on them.
and that's normally what I end up doing because I normally end up picking late, but I end up picking like third or fourth.
Mm,
So I was like, okay, well I'll just take running backs and you know, and I'll wait to get my
yeah.
receivers late. And I should have known my season was doomed when I drafted Russell Wilson as my quarterback. Now, granted, I didn't draft him till like the eighth or ninth round.
So me too. Yeah.
I drafted Russell Wilson, and then I drafted Derek Carr. So
Well, see, I drafted. I was like, I had Stafford and Wilson. I was like, oh yes, I got some
yeah.
quarterbacks. Man,
Hey, but you ended up with Burrow, so that's not bad.
yeah, yeah. I had Burrow. Yeah, I had Burrow, Kelsey, McLaurin. Man, who else did I have? Oh, I had Najee. Najee, what's his name?
Najee Harris.
Najee Harris. I had him. Um, who else? Oh, McKinnon. The Chiefs. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had McKinnon as well. So yeah, they're picking
Show
up.
off.
Man,
Show off.
I'm a free agent whore, man. Like every week I'm in free agency, except in one of the leagues because every time you get somebody from free agency, they charge you $1.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so you got to be careful with that.
Oh, so that's one of those pay per transactions. Okay, I get you. That sucks.
Yeah, so it's just like, nah, you know what? I'd rather just suck in this league.
Right.
I ain't trying to.
I
Man,
ain't
but what
trying
do
to.
you think about the Seahawks, man?
Dude,
I
they're
mean, they're
trending downward. They
what they're number
were
2 in.
they're number two in the West,
Yeah,
but I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs at this point. I mean, just
you don't
how
think so?
I don't know, man. You've got too many teams that are behind them that with the same record that are actually that don't have tough schedules and are playing better than they are. So I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna make it across the finish line. I mean, they
Let's
should.
see.
They've got talent, but
But wouldn't you think? Yeah, yeah, you're right. Because they were like one.
because it's
They're
either going to
number 8.
be, yeah, it's either going to be the Giants that make. Well, Giants, I think right now are projected in already. Same with the Commanders.
Yeah.
Still got Detroit, you know, and then you've got Green Bay sneaking up. So I mean, I don't know.
But what did you think though? Like Pete Carroll was willing to give away Wilson, and so you would think Denver was like, "What's wrong with him?"
Right? What's wrong?
Like what's wrong with him? You know, it's just like I think I sent you and Mandy the video of that comedian where he's just like, I just moved into my place and had my first ever booty call, and he goes, and then he goes, it's like getting a call from your favorite pizza place, and they say, "Hey, what are you doing after midnight?" And you're like, "Nothing, just here at home." He goes, "You want some free pizza?" He goes, "Yeah, but what's wrong with it?" It's just like he's like, you're not going to turn it down, but what's wrong with it?
What's wrong with it?
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
wrong? So it's almost like Russell Wilson. Like Denver should have asked the question,
What's wrong with it?
what's wrong? Yeah, what's wrong with him, man? But Pete Carroll knew that he was on the
Yeah.
downward spiral, man.
Once he broke his finger last year, it's like, nope, that's it. He's done.
Yeah. Well, then you hear all this other stuff coming out, how he's not a team player and stuff like that.
Very diva ish. Acts more of a diva than Sierra.
Yeah, for real, right?
He's making a
But
future seem like the babyface in this whole situation.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The future went from being a heel to being a baby face. That's hilarious.
But yeah, that was a great sidebar right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But yeah, the Chiefs improved, keeping pace. At the number 2 slot in the AFC. Uh, then we had a thrilling game as the Minnesota Vikings took on the New York Giants, and they win in a last-second field goal again, 27-24. Vikings win. So Minnesota, man, something about Minnesota.
Minnesota is at like I don't know, man. They're never going away, and they're in a game. It's like they're
Yeah,
you can never count them out. I mean, unless they were playing Dallas.
yeah.
That's
It's
about
like
it.
you have to beat them like legitimately, like how the Colts were, not let them back in the game.
Exactly. I mean, they already clinched their division, right? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, they've already clinched.
they
They
already
clinched it
clinched
last
the
week.
division. Yeah, and so like Minnesota is just that. I mean, there's just that team that's not going to go away, man.
Yeah, if they're in a one score game, chances are they're going to find a way to win.
Yeah. Yep.
So you
I
know,
mean, in that division, you got the Lions, you got Green Bay, and of course you got the Bears. But man, it's just
and they're only
Minnesota, man. I don't know, man. Like, what's it? Jones? I mean, Jones ain't playing bad either, man.
oh yeah, Daniel Jones. I'm sorry, I had to think about who you were
Yeah.
talking about. Jones. I'm thinking Jones. And I'm
30.
thinking Detroit. I'm not Detroit. I'm thinking Minnesota instead of uh,
Oh,
the
yeah.
the
Now,
Giants. But
Daniel
no,
Jones for the Giants. I
yeah,
mean, 30 for 42,
yeah, he didn't play very.
334 yards.
He didn't play bad this game. Now the last couple games he hadn't played very good.
Yeah. But, like, look at Kirk Cousins 34 for 48, 300 yards, or 299 yards,
Yeah,
three tuds.
I mean, what was it last week? He threw for 400 yards
Yeah.
to bring him back.
Jefferson, Jefferson, 12 receptions, 133 yards. Hawkinson, 13 receptions, 109 yards. Why did the Lions give him up? Who did they get in return?
I don't even remember who they got in return. I think they got picks and maybe a player, like a defensive player, I think. But
Man.
look at what they've done since then.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe it's one of those things they felt that, well, you know what? Jared's just forcing him the ball. Let's just get him out of here. You know, let him open up the offense a little bit more so he's not focused in on this one guy.
Yeah.
And let's give him a chance to go win somewhere. And then it's like, oh, well, we're actually good now. We could have used him.
Yeah.
But
Yep. Yeah.
Minnesota just finding ways to win. And that, like I said, that's a team you don't want to play in a one score game with any
No.
time left on the clock.
Man, for real.
So
For real, man.
so Minnesota finding a way to win there. Then we had almost had a repeat of some games last week. It was Cincinnati taking on New England. Cincinnati barely hangs on 22-18. Just Cincinnati, I thought this was going to be a blowout at halftime. The way Cincinnati was just
Yeah.
moving up and down the field, and then New England found a way to shut down Cincinnati in the second half. I mean, what was it? Not Evan Ingram, McPherson. Evan McPherson just he couldn't seem to kick the ball right. Missed like 2 field goals early.
Yes. Yeah. I think I actually have him on one of my teams as a kicker. It's like, damn you.
Just missing kicks, easy kicks. It's not like they were like 50 plus yard field goals. They were like 35, 40,
Yeah.
makeable field goals that he normally makes, and he just shanked them.
Yeah, but Cincinnati, man.
Yeah, they found a way to win.
Who? Jarborough, 40 for 52, 375, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions though. But New England has a good defense, so I mean,
Yeah. That,
can't
that but
really.
that is concerning though when your quarterback has to drop back and throw it 48, 50 times.
Man, I mean, yeah, Mixon only has 75 yards, 65. I'm sorry, 65 rushing yards.
Yeah, it's just like, it's like, yeah, that looks great on the stat sheet, but it's like when you sit back and you think about it, it's like, man, he's dropping back a lot. That means you're not running the ball at all. You're not
I
taking any
mean,
time off the clock.
but if you have T Higgins and Jamar Chase,
True, true,
I mean,
true. But if you're just trying to run clock and you can't run the ball, don't do you no
yeah,
good. Because every now and then Chase will drop an easy pass. He'll catch the hard ones, the ones he's
but
got
the
no
easy,
business catching, and then the easy ones that he's wide open, he just drops.
yeah, yep. And so, of course, you have, I guess, Baltimore and Cincinnati. They're still fighting for that
At
division.
number one. Yeah, I think
But,
they both are in the playoffs, but they're fighting for the
mm-hmm.
division for that
Yep.
home game. I
For that
think
home game. Yep.
what is it? Let's see. Yep, Cincinnati has a one-game lead on them.
Does Cincinnati play them next or last?
Let's see. Cincinnati's next two games are. Nope, they play them the last game of the season. So
Last
Cincinnati
game.
plays Buffalo this week,
Woo!
and then they play Baltimore last game of the year. So I don't know, tough sledding there,
Yeah.
tough sledding. So just got to hope Baltimore loses one game.
Hopefully. I mean, you still got New England who can still get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
You're not eliminated yet, so
Then we
it'll be
have probably
close.
the yeah I was saying then we had probably the most surprising score of the day. Well, I second most. I'll say second most. We had Detroit traveling to Carolina, and the Carolina Panthers just stomped the mud hole in Detroit, 37-23. They had
Who can
two
still win the division?
exactly. This was the worst ranked football team. What was it for the first? When did they get rid of Rule? Week 5.
The third game, week was it week 5? Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like, yeah, it was week 5. They fired Matt Rule, worst team. Then I think what was it 2 weeks later they cut Mayfield,
Mm-hmm.
still the worst team, and now they got a potential to make the playoffs.
Hopefully, hopefully the owner, what's his name?
Tepper,
Tepper, realize who he has as a head coach
yeah,
and gives him a job instead of going for a big name. But you know that's what he's gonna do.
that
He's gonna
seems
go
to
out
be his
there.
personality. Like, yeah, that's great, but I'm gonna go with the big name. He'd be like,
Exactly. Hey,
Steve, you
thank
want
you.
to stay? It's like, Steve, you want to stay on the staff? I'll make sure they keep you on the staff somewhere. No,
Special teams.
yeah, you'll be assistant
You
to the
know.
assistant.
Yeah, for real, man. But
But dude,
Carolina's still in it though, man. That is crazy.
they had 200-yard rushers. I think they ran the ball for what they say over 330 something yards.
Let's see.
Let's see, because Deontay Foreman had 165 yards, and I think Chuba Hubbard
Yeah,
had like
and
100.
it 25 yards.
Mm,
Dang.
yeah, that's ridiculous. That's just bad if you're Detroit. That's bad. That is not a good sign for your defense to get run over. It's bad enough to give up 150, 200 yards rushing. When you give up 300, that's like, dude, just wave the white flag.
Yeah, for sure. Man.
And that's a shame because Detroit needed that game. They really did.
Yeah. And Detroit usually has a pretty good offense.
They couldn't get
But
out of the blocks. When they finally
nah.
started scoring, it was just too late. That and the fact is they didn't have time. They didn't have the time because Carolina was just running the
Running
ball,
the
running the
ball.
clock. Yeah, you know.
Which
So
was kind of Matt Rule's MO, you know.
Just obviously wasn't
Hmm.
calling the right combination of plays, I guess.
So do you think it's the head coach, or do you think it's the players that not wanting to play for the head coach?
Could be a little bit of both. I think it's just a little bit of both. I think it's just maybe the coach is just stuck in his ways, thinking, okay, this is gonna work no matter what. You do what I say, blah blah blah. And players like, all right, dude,
Yeah,
like obviously give a little bit here because what you're wanting to do ain't working the way you want it to. If we do this instead or tweak that, I think we got a good chance. Nah, we're not going to do that.
yeah.
So I
I
think
mean,
it's a little bit of both.
some guys, man, they're not really meant to be NFL coaches.
Yeah,
I mean, Saban, for an example.
Steve
You
Spurrier.
know, Steve Spurrier, yeah, great college coaches, but man, Urban Meyer, probably
uh,
the worst, probably the worst college coach to go to the NFL.
yeah, didn't even make it a full season. At least they lasted several seasons.
Yeah, for real.
So
But yeah, man, Panthers are still in it. The Lions are still in it, man.
it's going to be interesting 2 weeks.
Yeah,
See how where these two teams end
I'm
up.
yeah, I'm pulling for the Lions, man. I hope they do make the playoffs.
I'm kind of pulling for both of those teams now. I just like I like both of those teams.
Yeah.
So then we had the Atlanta Falcons travel to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. The Ravens win 17-9 in what was described as an ugly game, but
Yeah.
Baltimore just holding serve. Tyler Huntley keeping them in it. So not much more to say to that other than the Falcons suck.
Yep. Falcons are terrible. They were good for a little bit.
Yeah,
Um.
it's funny. I just think it's funny that Mariota kind of got that pissed off that he just said, "Nah, I'm going home. You gonna bench me? I'm not gonna show up."
Yeah. Yeah. I was just. I don't know. I mean, you get rid of Matt Ryan. You sign Mariota. He did enough to win some games.
And your
Lost the first
defense is,
two. Yeah. I mean, it's not like the games they lost they got blown out by.
yeah,
Uh, but lost four in a row. That'll do it to you.
yeah. I just I think the worst one, the worst two losses were the one where they got the roughing the passer call on Brady, it wasn't roughing the passer, and then the one where they intercepted. Was it a fumble? One of the two. I can't remember which it was. It was either an interception or a fumble against the Chargers. The defensive end picks the ball up and is running, gets right back to where the line of scrimmage is, uh, or gets back to about the 40, to almost midfield, and drops the ball.
Yeah.
Not changing hands, just the ball's going, he's running, arm goes back, and there goes the ball behind him. And he just kind of looks like, oh, I dropped that. I got to get that. Thought I was dropping weight. I dropped the ball. But
Yep. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. I mean, the Falcons. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're going to get a quarterback in the draft.
I don't know. I think they'll
Uh,
stick it out with Ritter, I think.
you think so?
I think they'll at least give him one more season before they decide, okay, let's go look at somebody else.
I don't know. I just couldn't. I
Unless
don't know.
unless one of these quarterbacks that are coming out this year just happen to fall down to them like late, or if they see them still sitting around at the end of the first round, they're like, hey, you know what? Let's just go ahead and move since he's still available. Let's go ahead and get him.
Yeah.
So it's possible. Then with the upset of the day, the Houston Texans defeat the Tennessee Titans 19-14. Woo! We can take the bags off, Houston. We could take the bags off our heads for at least 1 week.
I The only reason I go for Houston because of Petrie.
Petrie, dude, Petrie had himself. He's been playing great.
Petrie is a beast, bro.
Like he was the only
Petrie.
one that looked like he wanted to tackle Derrick Henry. Now there's a couple times he made some business decisions. And said, "Nah, I'm just going to try to trip him." It's like when it was him and Henry, the only ones there in the open field. He's like, "Hey, you know what? I'm just going to try to slow him up and just make him either go around me or I'm just going to try to trip him."
Yeah.
But it's like anytime we play Tennessee, it's like nobody in our secondary or even our linebackers seem like they want to even tackle Derrick Henry. It's like
Derrick
no,
Henry's the big boy.
yeah.
I mean, you have
They're out there making some business decisions.
man, for real. I mean, Petrie has 7 solo tackles, 1 interception, right? I
Yeah,
believe so. 9 total tackles. I mean, Petrie's a beast, bro.
Petrie's a beast. I mean, granted,
He,
Malik
he,
Willis
he
is absolutely god awful.
yeah, yeah.
He's
Um,
awful.
but Petrie's going to be like the next JJ Watt that's going to be in Houston for a long time,
Yeah,
for a very long time.
like it's like when he is like against Dallas, he's what basically turned the defense over and said, "Okay, we got this," and that's what kept
Yeah,
them in that game for so long.
yep,
And really, like I said, the
yeah,
past I don't know what 4 or 5 games has just been Petrie leading the charge, and
yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, do you keep Mills and Driscoll? Is that your future quarterbacks?
no,
No.
if you have the number 1 overall pick or the number 2 overall pick, you get whoever's there. You get either Young, which I think is projected to be number 1, or you get I'm trying to think who else is coming out this year.
Is the Georgia quarterback coming out?
Stetson Bennett,
Yeah.
unless he gets like a 12th year of eligibility.
Oh,
uh,
Ohio State, right?
CJ Stroud, I
Uh,
think, is also going to come out.
hmm
Hendon Hooker, I guess, if he ever, because I think he's a senior this year, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you
So
definitely go for a quarterback because they're Freeman's a good running back. Pierce is playing well, but of course he's hurt, isn't he?
yeah, they put him on IR. He sprained his ankle, and I think they just said, "No, we're out of it. Let's not rush him back."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that dude he showed up this year for sure.
Yeah,
Um, but do they keep Lovey Smith?
I don't know. They weren't getting blown out like they were with Cully.
Nah, dude, they're in games. That's the
Yeah,
thing. They're in it. I say you stick
I think you
with
stick with
Smith.
Lovey. Yeah, I think you give him at least 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, 2 more on top of this season, but I think you at least give him see how he does next year with a
Next
rookie
year, if
with a rookie
yeah,
quarterback.
right. Next year
And
you win 2 games and you lose everything else. Okay, maybe maybe
yeah,
you switch it up. But if you only win 2 games this year, next year you win 6 games. It's like okay,
you
there's
build on
something
that.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially with that core of in the secondary that you have. And,
Yep.
as long as everyone stays healthy. Now, of course, next season if they have 2 wins again and say everybody's hurt, then I think you got to give them a mulligan.
Yeah. Yeah. For real.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, just Tennessee melted down. It looked like they were going to run away with that game, especially the way just Henry was just running the ball.
hmm
I just thought, man. And then once he fumbled, I thought, all right, we got this.
Yeah.
Finally, it's our time.
Here we go. Here we
Here we
go.
go.
No, but yeah. But Houston, man, with the upset, but Titans not using this as an excuse, but using it as an excuse. Titans do got a lot of players out.
Yeah, yeah,
They
they do.
they, they got a lot of injuries, and it didn't help that they traded away Brown. Their best receiver.
Their best receiver. So it's like, it's like that doesn't look so smart.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, you
But
did it to
hey,
yourself. But that's what happens when you rely on Ryan Tannehill to be your quarterback, and he ain't there.
he's not, man. I think they're literally one quarterback away of being like a real contender.
Yeah,
And Tannehill's not the guy. Willis is showing that he's not the guy. I don't know if the pressure's too much for him or what, but Willis is showing that he's not the guy. They need a new quarterback, man.
yeah, yeah. Willis, it just doesn't seem like he's grasped that offense, or they haven't put it
Yeah.
to use his strength. But even then, he does not look confident when he's throwing the ball.
Mm-mm.
I know in college he was throwing it all over the place and running all over the place. That's different. That's college. Here, he doesn't look like
Exactly.
he looks confident what he's looking at.
Nah. It's like, oh man, these guys are actually playing defense.
Yeah, it's like, oh, they're not like 5 yards wide open.
Yeah,
They're like
exactly.
6 inches open. So,
Hmm. You better put that ball in that window.
right.
I mean,
It's like when you're thinking, you're stinking, and he's doing too much thinking.
yep.
So, Elijah, suck.
Joshua's been ragging on him.
uh,
Yeah, Joshua's been he's like Bubba. He goes, 'cause what are they? He's like Bubba, y'all 7-8, y'all suck. You trash. You trash. You trash, Bubba. Y'all trash.
I'm sure. I'm sure Elijah's like, shut up. Y'all almost lost 2 last
yeah.
week.
Yep. For real.
It's like, nope, we still won. Oh man. And then getting close to finishing the Saturday games, we had the Commanders taking on the 49ers. San Francisco wins 37-20. Brock Purdy continues the roll. George Kittle has a monster game, 120 yards. I think he
hmm
had 2 touchdowns. Or was it 1
hmm
touchdown?
2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. I know one of them, it was him and McLeod were running the same route.
Yeah.
They were like right behind each other, and just Purdy happened to throw it to Kittle.
Right, man. I mean, in San Francisco's, I mean, pretty much next man up. Let's go.
Yeah,
It's like, hey, we got you for a reason, you
exactly.
know. And so here we go, and Purdy's showing to be that guy.
Yeah, he can handle the pressure. I think because at Iowa State he was pretty much playing in an almost pro style offense.
Yeah.
So this is nothing new to him.
Yep. He just he looks mature and ready to play. You know.
Yeah, he was definitely the most ready to play. I think of a lot of those quarterbacks that came out the same class as him.
Yeah. This is what his second year.
No, I think he's a rookie.
His first is it his first year?
I think he's a rookie. I want to
I
say
think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right.
he is. Let's see. Yep, he was drafted this year, so he's a rookie.
Yeah.
But yeah, continues to keep that train rolling in San Francisco.
So if you're San Francisco, do you keep Trey Lance or you keep Purdy?
I mean, you got them both for cheap right now. So I mean, I think you just have an open competition. Say, hey, Trey, you got some competition here at camp. So unless Purdy wins the Super Bowl, if Purdy wins the Super Bowl, Purdy's the guy.
You right? I mean, you
If
would
he
have to.
if he wins the Super now, if he doesn't win the Super Bowl, I think it's okay. Square one. We'll see how you do. Whoever wins
Did Jimmy
wins.
G only sign for one year?
I think he only had 1 year left on that contract
And they
because
restructured it,
they were
right?
trying to they were trying to trade him, but they restructured it when they couldn't trade him.
Gotcha. Yeah, man. Niners, man, that's a dangerous team.
That's a team you
I think.
definitely don't want to play.
Yeah, they won their division already, right?
Yeah, they won. So
Yeah.
then we had a miracle in Dallas as the Philadelphia Eagles went to Dallas. Dallas wins 40-34. But how
Freaking.
crazy is this? Philadelphia did not punt.
I did not realize that.
They did not punt the entire. They turned the ball over, but they did not punt.
Yeah, because Minshew had what, like 2 interceptions?
I think it was two. They had 4 turnovers total. I think he had 2 interceptions. I think he might have fumbled.
Two
Uh,
interceptions.
he fumbled the ball trying to hand it to Sanders. I remember that. And then Sanders fumbled the ball on his own.
Yeah.
And two of those 2 interceptions really weren't his fault. It's just his receivers gave up on the ball, and
Yeah.
Dallas took the ball away from him.
Yeah, Minshew almost had him, man. Minshew's not a bad quarterback.
No, he really isn't. He's a
If
pretty
I'm the
good kid,
Colts, if I'm the Colts, I'm looking at him.
right? I'm calling him
If
saying,
I'm,
"Hey, what can we get him?"
yeah.
And if I mention you, I'm saying no.
I mean, that pass that Prescott had to T.Y. Hilton was
Mm.
that 53-yard pass?
Yeah, it was like 50 something yards on 3rd and 30.
52. Yeah, 3rd and 30, 52 yards. He says, screw it, let's go.
He's just like, somebody's over there.
Threw a dime, man.
Threw
A
a good pick.
dime.
And just stupid Darius Slay. And
Yeah.
he knew he got caught.
Yeah.
That's why he's
Yep.
laughing. He's like, bro, I knew he was coming to you and you still beat me. What the hell?
Yeah. I mean,
I
that
mean,
was
he
a
owned up to
very
it.
good game.
He owned up to it. Like, yeah, that was on me. He got me.
Yeah. I mean that was a very good game.
That was a good game.
Very good game. Very back and forth. Um. Oh, I had Devontae Smith in my fantasy team too.
Uh, he had a
I
big
just saw his
game.
name and I was like, oh,
Yeah, he had a big
yeah.
game. AJ Brown had another good game.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, this is what gets me. Cowboys lose last week or the week prior to Jacksonville. Get rid of Dak. Dak is trash. Dak is this. Dak is that. Right?
He throws a
Cowboy
pick
fans.
six at the first quarter.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
First
terrible. Get
quarter.
rid of him.
They win the game. Silent.
Dak is the best quarterback. Dak's going to take us to the Super Bowl.
I mean, Dak is. Would you say Dak is what, top 10?
If he's not,
Maybe he was top 5.
he's at least top 12. At least I say at worst he's top 12.
Who would you put in front of Dak?
Mahomes,
This
Allen,
this this season.
Allen, Hurts, uh, Burrow. Trying to think. Off the top of my head. I mean, Jared Goff has been playing really good this season. I would say he's probably close to 10. Goff would
Yeah.
be around 10, 11, somewhere in around there. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, you could easily put him in the top 10.
Top, yeah, right?
That's what I say.
He
At
could easily
worst,
be
top 12. At worst, top 12.
right. I mean, because I just I just think that pick six that he threw against Jacksonville, he should have just threw at the ball at the ground or something, which I
Yeah.
think he was trying to do. I don't think he was trying to make a right pass or a pass, a completed pass. I think he was just trying to get it out, trying to get out the way. Don't take a sack.
I think he was just trying to protect the receiver from getting drilled.
Yeah,
And, of course, that's on the receiver for not catching it.
right. But if you look, Dak is, like we said, probably top 10 quarterback. You're not going to find another quarterback like him. I'm sorry, like there's a lot of people that I know, like, man, Cooper Rush is our guy. No, Cooper Rush is not the guy. He played good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, he played good with no expectations in the fact that y'all ran the
It,
hell out of the ball.
exactly, exactly. So, um, it to me, Dak is the better quarterback. Dak is, of course, once it comes to playoffs, you never know how Dallas is going to do.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just I'm not even gonna say Dak is gonna take them far in the playoffs because yeah. Just don't know.
track record says that's not going to happen. Especially if
Chat
they
record says that's a lie.
especially if they play either San Francisco or Green Bay.
Exactly.
That I guarantee you, that's the
Exactly.
one team. Man, he's like, nope, I don't want to play Green Bay. Nope.
Heck nah. Nope. Not at all. Because what did oh shoot. They still got a chance to win the division. I thought Eagles
No, they. I think all Philly has to do is win one game.
win one game.
Yeah, Philly
What's
just has
Philly
to win
got?
this week, and they got it. But also, Philadelphia, they have to keep winning. They have to win out and hope Dallas doesn't lose. Or if Dallas loses, that's it. Philly gets the division, regardless if they
Right.
win out. But Philly also has to worry about now only being one game, or I guess really it's two games on Minnesota.
Yeah.
So they have to hope that, again, either Minnesota loses or that they win one. They just have to win one. Minnesota can win out, and Philly lose or win one, lose one. They still have the tiebreaker since they beat Philly or since they beat Minnesota.
And didn't we say that that division was gonna suck?
The East,
Yeah.
I think so. Well, I think we said
It's
it
for,
was just going to be a 2-team race with the Cowboys and the Eagles,
hmm.
and now it looks like all four teams are going to be in it.
Crazy, right?
I think that
Crazy.
would be a first. All four teams make the playoffs from a division.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Then in the
I mean,
nightcap,
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, because I said if Washington would have made that switch with Wentz and put what's his name
Heineke.
Heineke,
Yeah.
that they would have been out already, eliminated.
Yeah. Exactly. It's a good thing he got hurt.
For real.
But in the nightcap, we had the Las Vegas Raiders travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers in what was the 50-year anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. And, tragically, Franco Harris, who was going to have his number retired that night, passed away Tuesday, was it?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, man,
Was it?
it was
Yeah.
like Monday or Tuesday he passed away. It's like, dude, that's terrible. That's just terrible timing. You
Yeah.
know, it's like, man, it's like, you hate to, one, you hate that, that he passed away. Two, it's like, man, you knew that they had something big planned for him and, didn't get to see it.
Yep. Yeah, but Kenny Small Hands Pickett, man. Man,
Found a way to win. That game was a terrible game. That game was
very,
awful.
very,
So
very. Are the Raiders out?
I think the Raiders are out. Yeah, the Raiders are eliminated with this loss. The Steelers are still in it. Yeah, the Steelers are still in it. They can still sneak into
No,
the
the
playoffs.
Raiders still have a chance to win. Of course, I believe they need some help. They're not eliminated yet.
Let's see.
I know they got to win out, of course, and then they need some help.
Maybe. I'm looking at it. Hold on. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess if they win out, then yeah, I guess they got a chance. They just have to hope everybody else pretty much loses, but it's a very astronomical number. They've got like the smallest of small chances to still make the playoffs.
Let me see. They
Because
got 1% from. They got 1 to 7% to making the playoffs.
they would need pretty much Buffalo or Miami, New England, and the Jets all to either lose or tie. Pittsburgh pretty much lose or tie. Let's see. They would need Jacksonville and Tennessee to pretty much lose and tie the way out.
Oh
So
God.
yeah, it's not looking good.
Let's see.
So I mean, yeah, Tennessee. They would need pretty much either, since it's Tennessee that's on the outs right now. They would need Tennessee to lose out, Pittsburgh to lose out. They would need, like I said, the Patriots and the Jets to lose out, and then they would get that last playoff spot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right.
And I don't think that's
Let me
going to happen,
see.
especially since some
Simplest
of these teams play
scenario.
each other.
Yeah, the Raiders need to win out. Uh, New England, New Jersey, Jacksonville. They at least need to lose one game. And then the Chargers and Miami need to at least drop their final two.
So ain't going to happen.
Ain't gonna happen.
You can go to Vegas and bet on that. It ain't going to happen,
Man, we should.
right? But yeah, so Vegas just continues to be disappointing after all that hype, all that talent they got going to waste.
They should have kept that special team coach they had, man.
Yeah, he's in Green Bay now.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They go after the big name.
Yeah, that's a classic Raiders move right there.
Yep.
Classic Raiders. Then moving on to Christmas Day. Try to knock these out pretty quick. We had Green
Yeah.
Bay traveling to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Green Bay wins 26-20. What the hell was Tua looking at?
Well, apparently he's in concussion protocol now, right?
Yeah, he's in concussion protocol because, I mean, you'd have to question what he was looking at when he threw those couple interceptions, or was it 3 he threw in the fourth quarter?
So I saw something today. His stats before what was the play before the concussion, supposedly,
Uh-huh.
and then after the concussion, he threw 3 interceptions. The play that they think.
Well, yeah, he threw the 3 because that happened, I think, in the first half where he got his. I think it was either late in the first quarter or early in the second quarter, and then he threw those interceptions in the fourth quarter. But he was off after that. After that,
Yeah,
he hit on the ground. He was off.
yeah, he was already concussed then, man.
Yeah,
And so, but yeah,
I
I mean,
mean,
but Green Bay.
only one
Go
of those
ahead.
I could see what he was trying to do. He just didn't get enough on the ball. But the other two, it's like, dude,
Hmm.
what are you looking at? You're looking. Your guy's
Yeah,
not even open, and you threw him the ball.
Green Green Bay, man, they just find ways to win. I guess Aaron Rodgers smacked the heck out of the receivers, and we're like, listen, you mofo's, you need to catch the ball.
Yeah, you're making me look
Yeah,
bad.
you're making me look bad. You're making me look like I'm crazy.
I'm taking too much Ashka.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Green Bay still in the hunt, man. Still in the hunt. But
Yep.
Tua still led the game with 310 passing yards, which of course they pretty much abandoned the run, which neither team could
Yeah.
really run the football, but still. Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see if Green Bay can keep the momentum going, or if Miami can just win one game at this point to get in the playoffs. So, and then we had the worst game of the weekend. The Denver Broncos travel to LA and just get demolished, 51-14. Was this the Denver Broncos or the Boise State Broncos? Because I didn't see much difference.
Of course, this game didn't mean nothing to none of them.
Yeah,
Baker Mayfield's playing for a contract next year.
exactly.
He's showing that he can win. With Stafford, because Stafford has a neck injury, right?
Yeah, I think they're thinking he's going to retire.
Yeah. So if I'm Sean McVay, that's your guy right there.
You ain't got no draft picks. You might as well go ahead and sign him.
You might as well go ahead and sign him. Go
Because
ahead.
your backups that you had played before him, they ain't worth the damn.
Yep. And not only that, I mean, Cam Akers, 23 carries, 118 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Man.
And you ain't got Cooper Kupp. You go get him back.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll get
Yeah.
Allen Robinson back next season. So and then
Yep.
Aaron Donald, if he don't decide to retire, he'll come back.
And then what's his name? Rippin.
Oh, Brett Rippon. Did you see he was getting
Yeah.
a fight on the sideline with his offensive?
Yeah. Basically, 'cause, I mean, he was sticking up for Wilson.
Yeah,
Just like cover him, or block for him. Like
yeah.
do something. And they told him, "Get out of my face, Brett," or whatever his name is.
Get out of here,
Get out of
Whip.
my face. Yeah, yeah. Get out of here. Yeah.
That's bad.
So, yeah. Terrible game.
Terrible, terrible
Both
game.
teams suck.
Yeah, and they had him on that Nickelodeon slime zone, so that's just a terrible game. That's just terrible. Then rounding out, which actually it was a boring game, but it ended up being interesting at the end. Tampa goes to Arizona and beats the Cardinals 19-16 in overtime. Tom Brady does it again. Find a way to win.
They still have a chance for the division too, right?
They're in the lead right now for the division.
They're in the league for the division. You're right.
So Trace
Yep.
McSorley just looked awful. He looked good in spots,
Yep.
but for the most part, he was awful.
Yeah. He didn't even look like an NFL quarterback, man.
No, he really didn't. He was
He
very
did
skittish
not.
in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Yes.
skittish. Which we find out, J.J. Watt had the game of his life. Was making just about every other tackle in the backfield. And then we find out that's his last home game, that he's calling it a career.
Yeah.
After
Yep.
the next two games, he said, that's it. I'm done.
I think if they would have been a Super Bowl contender, he probably would have stayed one more year.
Yeah.
But they're nowhere near that.
He's looking
And
at
you
the
know that
dysfunction in that team, and he's like, dude, I can't deal with this.
exactly. Exactly. He knows. He knows. He probably knows. Kingsbury is going to get fired at the end of the season.
Kyler
And he's
Murray
like,
ain't
you
going to
know
be there,
what?
but for half the season next year.
Yeah. And he's like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get out.
Because, he's still under contract. So he's just like, dude, I can't go anywhere. They ain't going to
Yeah.
trade me.
You're right.
They ain't going to trade me, and they ain't going to cut me. So I'm just might as well retire. Ride out this contract.
Uh huh. Yep.
So sucks that he went out that way without a Super Bowl, but you never know.
Definitely deserves it.
Yeah. And then last night, we talk about boring games. The LA Chargers went to
I
Indianapolis
didn't even
and
watch
beat.
the game.
Oh, bro, I wish I didn't watch most of it. It was terrible. It's like I put on Facebook, I said, this is terrible. I finally have a Monday night off, and you have no wrestling on. It's just the best of show on Raw, and an absolutely god awful Monday night football game. I even tried to watch that Bowling Green Bowl game, and I was like, okay, this is awful too. But the Chargers win 20-3.
Yeah.
The Chargers
Terrible.
should have blown them out by way more.
Mm-hmm.
And Nick Foles looked awful. I think at one point Troy Aikman and Joe Buck were like, Foles is just doing terrible. Why the hell wouldn't you just put in Sam Ellinger at this point?
For real.
I think it was like the late third quarter. I think Aikman said something, and Buck goes, so why the hell doesn't Jeff Saturday just roll the dice and put him in? What's he got to lose? And Aikman goes, well, it ain't his job.
Oh man. Terrible. They both suck.
It was a terrible game. Like I said, between that and the Broncos game, those were just awful games. Awful.
Yeah.
All right, let's. We've gone over long enough. Let's go ahead and let's try to get these picks in for next week. All right, so no Saturday games, thank God. So we've got on Thursday night, we've got Dallas traveling to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Who you got?
Cowboys. Tennessee's too banged up.
Yeah. As much as I don't want to pick Dallas, I'll pick Dallas. Then Sunday games, Arizona and Atlanta.
Oh dang, that's terrible. Falcons.
Yeah. Falcons.
They both got the bird flu.
It's bird season. Take them both out.
Yeah.
Then we've got the Bears at the Lions.
Lions.
Lions. Then let's see. And then we got the Broncos going to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
Chiefs. Then we've got an interesting matchup: Miami at New England.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good game.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say New England though.
yeah. I'll take New England. Especially, I don't think Tua plays. I
Nah,
really don't. Then we've got the Colts at the Giants.
Giants.
Yeah, I'm with you there. The Giants. Then we got Nolans, the Saints at the Eagles.
Eagles.
Eagles. And then we've got probably one of the most interesting games of the week. We've got Carolina Panthers going to Tampa to take on the Bucks.
I got the Panthers in this one.
I'll take the Panthers too. Just they beat the crap out of the Bucks the last time they played.
Yep.
So then we've got the Browns traveling to Washington to take on the Commanders.
Commanders.
We're in alignment again, the Commanders. Then we have Jacksonville traveling to take on the Houston Texans.
You know what? I'm going with Texans. I think they're gonna do it. I think they're gonna do it.
I'm gonna go with it. I'm sticking with it. Winning streak, baby. 2-game win streak. Make it a 3-game. We might beat the Colts and then screw ourselves out of the number 1 overall pick. But that would be that'd just be the story of our team. But at least with that, if we know it'd be Chicago, it'd be number 1, and they won't take a quarterback. So that's probably the only silver lining.
Yeah.
Then we've got San Francisco traveling to Vegas to take on the Raiders.
Niners.
Niners, definitely the Niners. Then we've got the Jets going cross country to take on the Seattle Seahawks.
I'm going Seahawks.
I'm gonna take the Jets. I'm gonna take the Jets. Mike White's back, so bombs away.
Yeah.
Then we've got the Minnesota Vikings traveling to Green Bay to take on the Packers.
I got the Packers, man.
I'm gonna stick with the Vikings. I think they're gonna. I don't know. The last few times they played Minnesota or Green Bay, they've had Green Bay's number.
The Packers are gonna do it.
And then the Battle of Los Angeles, we got the Rams taking on the Chargers.
The Rams, man. Baker Mayfield's on a roll.
Oh man, this is tough because the Chargers just play as off. They play as good as the team that they're playing. So if they're playing a bad team, they play terrible. They're playing a good team, they play pretty good. I'm gonna take the Rams. And in the nightcap, thank God this got flexed in. I don't know what they had in before it, but it's probably the Indianapolis game and the Giants is probably what it was. But anyway, so we had Pittsburgh going to Baltimore.
I'm going with Steelers, man.
I'm gonna pick Steelers just because I'm rooting for Mike Tomlin to finish above 500.
Yep, exactly.
And then Monday Night Football, start the new year. First game of 2023. We've got the Buffalo Bills taking on. I'm sorry, that's not the first game of 2023. I'm stupid. It's the Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Man, I'm going with the Bills.
I'm gonna take the Bills just because it's hard for Cincinnati to stop the run.
Yeah,
And
I think
no
the Bills' defense. The Bills' defense is going to limit Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, appreciate you guys for joining us. Be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. All that good stuff. Notification bell. Follow on social media, Facebook, Instagram, In Your House Sports and In Your House Sports. For your boy Vasos,
Fat Sam.
see y'all next week. Peace.
Peace out.